Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Apologies for the tremendous long wait, but I'm back and I'm better than ever. Shout out to Waker Bischoff. Now,
Where the hell have you been?
getting a life unlike you. Okay, for real this time. I have been focusing on my life and stuff.
The fans, Haji. The fans.
But
No butts, no cuts, no coconuts. You have to make a video.
on what?
It's the dream.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy, at the time of this video, haven't had an episode for at least 16 years. I have always loved these two. They remind me of one of the classic Batman 1966 episodes that I grew up with. Both of these characters are on my top 10 SpongeBob characters of all time. These guys' timing are genuinely perfect. Without further ado, here's a disclaimer. These are my opinions, and it's okay if you disagree. None of these episodes are actually bad. They're mediocre at worst and classic at best. Also, I'm not counting episodes such as Back to the Past, the movie, and the Bad Guys Villain Club. Without further ado, let's get on to the bottom of the list. And this is gonna get a lot of hate.
To M for Minnie, when it should be set to W for Wumbo.
Patrick, I don't think Wumbo is a real word.
Come on, you know. I Wumbo, you Wumbo, he, she, me, Wumbo. Wumbo, Wumbo.
Everyone loves this episode because of this. Me personally, while it is funny, my main problem with this episode is SpongeBob himself. SpongeBob here was generally annoying, and him striking the bikini bottom was really oblivious, and this is a pretty really SpongeBob episode, so I genuinely expect better from SpongeBob. While he wasn't the smartest guy, he usually proved to be mature and just have child instincts. And I get that the same happens in other episodes such as Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1, but in that episode, it's done right because SpongeBob is funny, and Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy made SpongeBob pay for it. But back to that later. I like Squidward here. Him screaming at the stuff SpongeBob did is way funnier than the Wumbo joke. That's just me though. This episode was responsible for the Wumbo joke, which was really funny. And speaking of the Wumbo joke, Patrick was genuinely hilarious. All of his stuff were funny, especially when he treated Squidward like a toy. Actually, Squidward and Patrick's interactions here are the highlight of the episode to me. Also, the way the Bikini Bottomites beat up SpongeBob was a little too harsh. And was pretty harsh, especially when they kicked SpongeBob's brain, heart, spine, etc. Overall, while yes, iconic, I'm basing off of the episode's quality. And as an episode, it's just mediocre. Number 5, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6. I know I wouldn't include the movie, and I meant bad guy clubs for villains. My dumbass, while writing the script, just called it a movie, since it felt like it. Neitherless said, this is a huge hot take to put Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 6 over 4. But to me, the plot is more better, there's a lot more compelling jokes, and SpongeBob is way better here than, honestly, a way better episode than 4. But there is its flaws. There are times which scenes drag and it becomes filler, which I hate filler. Watch my Simpsons guy review if you don't believe me. Overall, not much to say. It's just a decent episode. Sorry for the short review. Psych! There's more. I love Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy. Here, their reactions to all their surroundings is really entertaining and can lead to good one-liners. When Mermaid Man was recalling episode 912, I was dying in laughter. especially when SpongeBob told Patrick to record. Speaking of Patrick, I love Patrick here. He was funny. The biggest criticism here was at times SpongeBob was too over the top. Especially when it was ruined and him whining like a baby. That was really annoying. I get that he's a fanboy, but come on. Even I, a Jump Reviews fanboy, wouldn't go as far to these levels. But I can understand the humor. Overall, decent episode. Time to go to number 4. Number 4 is Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1. Time for the actual good episodes. And Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1 started it off. What a classic. Seriously, one of the best season 1 episodes in my opinion. This episode had comedy, action, and... Actually, this episode is so good. I'm gonna narrow it down in a list why it's good. 1, Mr. Reflecto, aka Squidward. Mr. Reflecto's reactions to everything happening was hilarious, and especially the encounters with SpongeBob and Patrick. I was dying. The chess game at the end. The chess game at the end is seriously one of the most underrated scenes of SpongeBob history. This is a seriously top 10 laugh out loud moments in season 1. And the facial expressions Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy make during the game were hilarious. And it's because of this scene I'm calling it a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy spin-off. Seriously wouldn't be bad. It'd be quite hilarious, honestly. Number 3, SpongeBob. SpongeBob is one of the highlights of this episode. See, this is how you do fanboy addictions, right? Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 4. SpongeBob's reactions of seeing his idols are classic comedy mixed with Mermaid Man's reactions. It's comedy that writes itself, especially SpongeBob's reactions to old people attacking him. It's amazing. Patrick. I mean, it's Patrick in season 1. Of course he's going to be great. Even at season's weakest moments, he ends up to be the saving grace. And he is amazing as usual. I don't have much to say. It's season 1's Patrick. Number 5, the fight scene. The fight scene is amazing. Not because it's action-packed, just because it's hilarious. Now, old Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy doing it themselves could be funny by itself. But the fact that they brought in old people is even more better than the humor and jokes hit harder than it already could. 6, Mermaid Man. I know I didn't add them together in this list, but I wanted to add them separately. Mermaid Man's PTSD is probably the best part of this episode. Him screaming evil is generally hilarious. I especially love the lunch scene where he's like, to the casserole or something. He is an amazing version of a cartoon superhero. Wait, top 10 cartoon superheroes? Maybe another day. Number 7, Barnacle Boy. Barnacle Boy gives me Squidward vibes, and Squidward is a way better version of Barnacle Boy. Here, he is great, and especially the encounters with Mermaid Man and SpongeBob. Overall, a great episode. How could anything get more better than this? Just when you think Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 1 couldn't get any good, the sequel was really damn good. This episode is underrated as shit. You have the trio of SpongeBob and our great heroes being even better. You have also the fact how good this plot is. SpongeBob gets a thing, forgot the name, don't make fun of me in the comments, that makes him summon the great duo. He repeatedly does it, and it's stripped away from him. That's what she said. But Mermaid Man makes it to SpongeBob and lets him spend the afternoon with them. At first, it seems annoying to them, as SpongeBob fucks shit up. Till the dirty bubble comes and SpongeBob wants his autograph and unintentionally saves his heroes. And by God, that ending is a top 10 ending of all time. The character development in that ending was really damn good. And the main thing I loved here was Mermaid Man. He was a genuine good dude.
Now,
and
before
honestly,
I go to
it's wholesome to see him
there
compare
are 2
SpongeBob to
episodes
Barnacle
of
Boy.
Mermaid Man and Barnacle
Let
Boy
alone,
series
the
that I
comedy
consider
always elevates
classics,
the episode a lot
amazing
more.
episodes, top tier,
I remember
S tier.
another young
Without further
whippersnapper
ado, let's
who
get
wanted
on
to
with
be
it.
a superhero. You don't even remember breakfast, you old coot.
Overall, not much to say. Maybe nostalgia speaking, but this is a great episode. Now, let's get on to number 2. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 3. What do I have to say? This episode is so fucking good. I can name one reason why this episode is so good. Fucking Man Ray. Man Ray is an amazing character. He has amazing timing and is honestly great in this episode. This episode is like a one-man performance, as I like to say. What is that, you may ask? It's when an episode is amazing or good because of a character carrying every joke. And that's Man Ray. He is great. Neither less said. Not like SpongeBob and Patrick. You think I wouldn't talk about this clip? Piggy, spin that shit. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy 5. Well, this episode is amazing. I will give this list why it's good. The setup. I have never seen a better setup in a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode till now. Barnacle Boy's portrayal to turning evil is hilarious yet relatable. Barnacle Boy isn't a baby anymore and wants respect, so he has to be a threat to be a man. 2, the bad things Barnacle Boy did. That's in quotations, by the way. The bad things Barnacle Boy did was hilarious as fuck, because they're so harmless, and they remind me of 7-year-olds doing a harmless prank, and it's so funny that I laughed my ass off harder than some of the BS Season 7 squeezes out. The superpower scene. This is the second best part of the episode. This is seriously hilarious as fuck, from SpongeBob Speed to Squidward getting burned. And it's seriously the best comedy in a Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episode yet. The ending. The ending is the best part of the episode. Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy make up and act like genuine friends. Even during the hardest times, they will make up and fight just to save the world. And that's all what it's about. Overall, the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy series is a series I definitely recommend watching. It's funny, watchable, and can even have its great moments at its lows. Well, you made it to the end of the video. Well, make sure to join my Discord server, and I'm working on a new project called CAS. Link in the description. Well, this is Haji X Fries, and I'll see you on the flip side. Goodbye.
Built an empire.